Hello ladies and gentlemen, those in between, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Everett, and for today's video we are going to be reacting to top 10 facts about Sweden. Top 10 facts about Sweden. Alright, here we go.
Välkommen till Sverige, ett land
Wait a moment, so am I watching a video where the narrator is speaking Swedish language? Okay, very interesting. Wait a moment, let's rewind guys. Swedish language.
Välkommen till Sverige, ett land där snön smälter bort lagom till jul och där man hellre står upp än att ta en ledig plats bredvid någon annan på bussen. Ett land med så många blonda med blåa ögon att det helt enkelt fick bli färgerna på vår flagga. This is Sweden.
This is Sweden. Okay, number 1.
The early history of Sweden begins around the 9th century when Swedes were merchant seamen well known for their far-reaching trade.
Okay.
You know them as Vikings, and Viking actually means to go on an expedition or to go raiding.
Okay.
Modern Sweden begins in 1397 when the Scandinavian nations were collectively called Kalmar Unionen, or in English the Union of Kalmar. But during these years, diverging interests gave rise to a conflict that would hamper the union and ultimately leads to a definite breakup in 1523 when Gustav Vasa became king of Sweden. Sometime after Gustav Vasa had ascended the throne, something called the Swedish Empire was formed, and then we had a galactic war spanning several decades fighting against the Swedish Republic and the Jedi Vikings.
Ja men Lucas, jag är ju för fan din pappa.
But that's for another
Return
video.
of the Jedi movie, Star Wars.
But seriously, during this time, Sweden was actually one of the great European powers, and this time is even referred to as Stormaktstiden, which roughly translates to the Great Era of Power.
Sweden, the great era of power.
But in early 18th century, Sweden took part in the Great Northern War, which was disastrous for Sweden to say the least. Throughout the 18th and 19th centuries, Sweden lost most of its previously conquered territories, and these would later begin the formation of Norway and Finland. But despite its long history of war and conflicts with the neighboring countries, Sweden has stayed neutral ever since 1814.
Okay. This is actually the very first time I watched a video like 10 facts about Sweden. So quite honestly, I am trying to absorb all of these pieces of information. I'm really trying my best to absorb all of these pieces of information. I'm totally not familiar with the history of Sweden, so I find this video very interesting. I really love watching videos like this because, well, apparently I get information about a certain country. Well, I'm not super familiar with European countries, and I only started getting interested in Europe when I discovered Eurovision. That's it. Anyway, let's move on. Fact number 2.
Sweden is one of the most internet-active countries in the world. In fact, with a population of 9.5 million, there's about 500,000 people who are not using the internet in any way. So, statistically speaking, we're 4th in the world, only beaten by a few percent by Norway, Iceland and the Falkland Islands. Sweden also has the largest proportion of personal computers in Europe, with 500 PCs per 1,000 people.
Oh, okay.
The world's largest...
I don't know if you guys know that in Korea, their internet speed is crazy fast. Like I don't know, maybe 100 times faster than the internet speed here in the Philippines. I'm saying this because I've been teaching English to Korean students for almost 20 years. Anyway, forget about what I've just said.
largest scale model of the solar system exists in Sweden. It is in the scale of 1 to 20 million and stretches 915 kilometers from the capital Stockholm all the way to Kiruna. The huge spherical building named Globen in Stockholm represents the sun, and then the planets as well as dwarf planets along with some larger asteroids are spread out across the country.
Okay. Fact number 4.
Swedes are apparently very good at recycling waste products. In fact, only 4% of all waste generated ends up on landfills.
Really?
But although this may seem like it could only be a positive and maybe even enviable achievement compared to countries where this is a problem, Swedes are actually too good at it. We're so good at recycling waste that we have to import more waste from Norway. 80,000 tons every year to be exact. This is because Sweden relies on waste to heat and provide electricity to hundreds of thousands of homes through a waste to energy program. So we're basically recycling our fuel.
I completely had no idea of that. Really? But if you ask me whether I recycle or not, well, that really depends on the situation. I declutter more often than not. I give whatever I don't use any longer away. I mean, that's my personality. But, I mean, if I know that I can still use something, if I can still repair it, then I repair it. I don't buy stuff right away. That's my kind of personality. So maybe I'm somewhat Swedish when it comes to recycling.
In Japan, there's a town called Sweden
Oh,
Hills.
really?
And it's exactly what the name suggests, a town that looks exactly like a regular Swedish neighborhood.
Oh?
The idea began after the Swedish ambassador visited the town and remarked how similar the atmosphere and scenery was to his native Sweden.
Wait, what? Really? I've never known this. I mean, I've been following so many Japanese artists. I've watched countless of Japanese movies, but really, I totally had no idea of this. This is such a pleasant surprise.
Only a few years ago, video games was considered to only be played by, should I say, nerds. Today, gaming is everywhere, with people on YouTube, for example, making a living simply by letting people watch them play video games.
Oh,
but
interesting.
you truly must realize how far gaming has come when only last year a school in Stockholm, Sweden started introducing compulsory Minecraft lessons. This was done by teachers hoping the Swedish computer game would help the children to further develop their thinking.
Okay. Now, I got a question for you guys. What was your favorite, what were your favorite games growing up? When I was young, we were very poor, and my parents couldn't afford to buy a television. The only time when we got our very first black and white television was when I was a sophomore high school student, so I was 14 years old at that time. And when I was young, I would really love to go to computer game shops, and I would play my favorite, what do you call this? Computer games, family computer games like Super Mario. And because when I was a kid, my family was very poor and they couldn't afford to buy a family computer game, now that I'm able to earn my own money, just last year I bought, no, not, I think 2 years ago, I bought this Anbernac game console. Yeah, I don't exactly know what you call this, but this is like a gaming device, and I can play my favorite childhood, my childhood favorite games like Super Mario. You guys have this? If you guys have this, let me know in the comment section below. Okay? All right. So we might as well continue watching this video.
Like any other country, Sweden is the source for a lot of inventions and companies that are widely popular today. For example, Anders Celsius was the inventor of the now called Celsius thermometer scale. Alfred Nobel invented dynamite as well as instituted the Nobel Prize. Niels Bohlin invented the safety belt. Gideon Sundbeck invented the modern-day zipper. Baltzar von Platen and Carl Munters invented the refrigerator. One of the first mobile phones was invented by Swedes in 1956. IKEA was founded in 1943. The Swedish site The Pirate Bay is the largest BitTorrent site in the world.
I had no idea that IKEA was actually from Sweden. I'm shocked.
Spotify is one of the largest music streaming sites in the world. The popular car manufacturers Volvo, Saab, Koenigsegg and Scania were all founded in Sweden.
Wait, so Spotify is a Swedish streaming music application site? Really? And H&M too? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I had no idea. Totally had no clue.
H&M, which actually stands for Hennes och Mauritz, is the second largest clothing retailer worldwide. And Absolut Vodka is the third largest brand of alcoholic spirits in the world and is sold in 126 countries.
Back in my 20s and my early 30s, I would wear H&M, but I had no idea that it was from Sweden. Anyway, I just want to show you something. Anyway, let's move on.
Sweden is one of the few countries in the European Union to still retain its own currency and not use the euro. The currency is called krona, which was introduced in 1873. $1 is about 6.5 Swedish crowns. But Sweden is actually obligated to adopt the euro at some point since it joined the European Union. However, using a loophole in the law, it's been able to declare itself ineligible. The only other two European Union countries also to refuse to adopt the euro are Denmark and the United Kingdom.
So, all European countries, you guys use, your currency is euro, right? In the Philippines, our currency is peso, Philippine peso. I think in Mexico, their currency is also peso.
The shortest name for a location in the world exists in Sweden as well as Norway and only consists of one letter, the letter called O. Because in Swedish we have 3 extra letters at the end of the alphabet, namely O, Ä and Ö. Ö can mean island and O is a word for river. We all know that my English is absolutely flawless. Beautiful pronunciations such as character, Danish, jello, and let's not forget rural. Sweden actually has a higher percentage of English speakers than Canada, and it's only about 8% behind the United States. This has a lot to do with Sweden's tendency to prefer subtitled content.
Rewind. I'm actually looking for the Philippines. I hope I see it. I can't see it, so let's just move on.
Sweden's tendency to prefer subtitled content over dubbing, but English has also been a compulsory subject for Swedish students since the 1940s. And on top of all this, Swedish was not announced the official language of Sweden until 2009.
Wow. That's about it? Oh, yeah! I love this video. Alright guys, this is the very first time that I've watched a video like this, and I hope that you guys find my reaction video pretty interesting, because if you do, I might as well check out a few more videos about Sweden. Oh my goodness, I am really falling in love with Sweden, from music to structures to people's personality. Sweden is, oh my goodness, I'm really starting to fall in love with Sweden. I am in love with Finland Poland, the Netherlands, of course, Croatia as well. I'm really trying my best to like get to know different European people from different European countries, and thanks to Eurovision. Thanks to Eurovision. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think of this video in the comment section below. And if you have any suggestions, recommendations, please feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. All right, so I guess that's about it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like this video, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when the next video comes out. Peace out.